Our weapons system is up.
All right, we might be ready to move on this thing.
Hi there. Are you free? You want to see...
Hey there. 10-4. What's up, Chief? What's up? Got something in mind? Like a brand new weapon, trust me. All right. Bye. Have a good one.
So Merryweather's latest strategy for owning the black market is having smugglers do their imports in and taking a huge cut. That's a slippery slope, you know what I'm saying? We gotta take a stand and sabotage the whole thing. First, we tell this smuggler and figure out where this is all going down. And then, we'll tag all the shit they're shipping out so Pete can fly in and blow it all up. That's teamwork, LSA style. Okay, intel just came through on the smuggler. Sending you a photo now. We gotta get into their phone to find out where the shipment is, but it looks like they usually roll with a little security. Be careful. All right, you got in the phone? Just give me a few seconds to go through this and... Okay, got it. There's the base. I'm still going through this phone, and it looks like there's another Merryweather base nearby. Smaller. We should hit that too. Maybe we grab some uniforms or something. Get onto the main base under the radar. Hey, so we got a lot of reports coming in that Merryweather's been experimenting with some crazy new weapon designs. And this phone's got a lot of data, makes me feel like there's some information on that shit in this base. Think you could try to grab a picture?
What's your problem, huh?
Okay, we got P standing by. Just get those tracers on the shipments, and he'll know where to strike when we give him the signal. Should be just crates with the Merryweather logo all over them. Damn, man. This is some alien-type shit. I wouldn't be surprised if those UFO sightings around the city have just been Merryweather fucking around with this bullshit. We can sell this easy. I'll get you a cut.
All right, people, target confirmed. I'm approaching your position. Stand by for the heat.
I know that sound anywhere. Direct hit. P said there's some backup rolling up now, including a bitchin' armored truck. Hey, imagine what the Angels could do with one of those. If it were me down there, I wouldn't be leaving without it. got B telling me you're peeling out that truck. Bring that shit back here, but not before you hit some Merryweathers with it. Man, you took out the shipments and made it out with the truck? I almost feel sorry for Merryweather. Yeah, nah, fuck that. Good work.
You calling for some wheels? I'm Johnny on the spot. I'll hook you up. I'll bring it to you.
What's up? Yeah. Later. You're fine, right? Sure.
Had a pregnant lady buy a flamethrower from me earlier. Oh.
the same MO as before. Consider this our latest investment round. I'm sure you can persuade these reprobates to bankroll a worthy cause one more time. I am thoroughly ready for this. You know how often I retell the story of last time? Every morning to myself in the mirror. You are strong. You are worthy. We can wreck an entire cartel. I will be able to assist you with my LSPD privileges. Accessing their database and communications is a perk of the job. One that will prove useful throughout this venture, I'm certain. You think they've added extra security measures since last time? I suppose we'll find out, huh? Time to liberate some felonious assets. They're on to you. Stay vigilant.
You motherfucker! Get in the gun! One of our peoples needs help! You gotta stop!
Tag it and bag it, as they say. There should be a stash of cash in there somewhere, just like the last time. But don't get overconfident. They might have tightened security since our last incursion.
Hey! We got a man now! Die, motherfucker!
Looks like we're ready to hit the cartel again. Superlative work, officer. Got it.
You calling for some wheels? I'm Johnny on the spot. I'll hook you up. I'll get there as soon as I can.
Hey, it's me. That was a lucrative effort. This is a solid fund to use on the rest of our planning efforts. The first leg of which I'll get to work on right now. I'll be in touch.
Hey, you on set, buddy? Okay.
I had the worst food poisoning last night. Totally ditched this guy I just met. Haha, fuck you. I don't have
The casino store is open. Come dressed like you deserve success.
Okay, time for another dinner.
How can I help you?
Hello again.
Here you go.
Anything you need, boss. Oh, hi. How can I help you? Anything to keep you productive, boss. What can I do for you? You got a nice fleet, boss. Your personal vehicle is being brought up now.
Hey, Heffa, we're moving that stuff today, right? It's all loaded up on the flatbed outside the warehouse. We called ahead to our people down at the docks. They're waiting for you. I tell you to be careful, but shit, I figured you must always be careful. See you soon, Heffa.
Yep.
You're through to your garage. You, need me to bring you a ride? I'll bring it by. I'll get back to it then.
setup is great.
Look who it is!
Yo, what's up? Peace!
Okay, we got a buyer for this stuff. At least I think we do. Everything's encrypted, so I could be talking to a washing machine. They're sending the drop locations on this Sightseer app I've uploaded to your phone. Take a look. Try...
Alright, good morning, everybody. Sorry, I know I should have warned you that I was going to come on the mic. Yeah. So I figured it's probably best explained if I, explain it on the mic, instead of the keyboard. But yeah. I've seen hail. I've seen it go from a nice sunny day while I'm driving up the mountain to change to rain, to hail, to a snowstorm, full out snowstorm, and you're not going anywhere. And that's it. So, the two most dangerous highways here in Canada to drive through one is called the Coquihalla, and that's through BC's interior and all that whatnot, and it takes you to Vancouver, pretty much. Well, not directly all the way to the city, but... And then the other one's Rogers Pass. Rogers Pass is pretty sketchy. I mean, if you were to take any highway to go through BC, your best bet would be to drive through on the Coquihalla. Rogers Pass is sketchy as fuck. Like, it's sketchy business. And another thing right now, I'll tell you guys something. And this is no joke. You, for any of you who ever decide to come out to the Rocky Mountains and, you know, you want to go driving around, nighttime's not the time to do it. Don't do it at night. It gets darker than anything here. It gets darker than space. It gets as dark as space here. Okay? I'm not even kidding you. It gets so dark here that in some spots, if you're not even in a town, if you're out on a rural road or something and you shut your vehicle lights off, your hand will disappear in front of your face. And then you'll hear every single creeping animal in the woods and the wilderness make noise. And that'll make your skin crawl. Okay? Because you can't see nothing. You go down, drove through the mountains. I had no choice one time through the nighttime. And man, it was white knuckle. It was scary as fuck. Everything was fine at first. The stars were out, and then all of a sudden it clouded over so fast, and then it started to snow. And I was like, oh shit. And I couldn't see fuck all. I couldn't see nothing. Oh my god. Let me tell you something. When you're at a crawl, and you're looking around going to my stone fucking road, and you're praying, and you open the door of the truck, and you're just looking out, and you're trying to find some evidence of the ground underneath you to try and get your bearings going. Fuck, am I about to hit the wall and go over the mountain? Because if so, they're not going to find you. No. You'll be gone. They might find you in a month. Maybe. You're lucky. Just get a long-ass way to say goodbye. Okay? Let me put you in perspective, right? You're driving up to some of the heights of the mountains that I was on, right? You look down, and you can, you know these really nice, beautiful rivers that you're seeing right here, running through the game? Well, they look like tiny, tiny little slivers of lines, and you're up there, way up there. Yeah. Everything looks small. And then eventually when you wind your way back down, everything looks huge again, big, and you can see crystal clear right through to the bottom of the lakes and the river, because the water's that clear. Still, it's scary business. Like you don't. I've seen idiots from like out east who have no experience driving truck who come out there and their tires are bald, literally bald, and they wonder why they're sliding down the Coquihalla. Like these and then half of them try and even make it up the Coquihalla in the wintertime when the chain lights are on, and they'll try and go up barefoot. We call barefoot like...
Alright, well, the buyer's got
like
the
bears. So like there's no... You're going up there with no traction. Good fucking luck. You're going up an 8 grade, sometimes 12 grade fucking hill that's already snowpacked, and you're fully loaded. Sometimes with like 45,000 pounds on the trailer, then you got trailer weight, truck weight, and all that kind of stuff, and then you're trying to fight your way up the hill. Yeah, good luck. Some of those guys come on those hills, and Man, I got so frustrated. Because sometimes it's scary business. Some of those idiots, they try to go up the hill, and then next thing you know, they're sliding down the hill, and they're coming at you. And they can't stop. And it's not like you can just turn around and hit reverse and fucking look behind you and, like, beeline it down the hill. It doesn't work like that, man. Like, you're on a 2-lane hill, you're on a 2-lane going up a hill. Not to mention up through down hills, right? Yeah. Shit show. I don't miss those days. I don't miss being on the road. Not at all. I don't even miss city driving. City driving, I have no more. I don't have patience for driving no more. No.
What you need, boss? Some
guys
wheels?
who've driven
I can bring them
truck
around.
for years. Dude, most of those guys who are fed up with the road, you wonder why they don't drive. Right? You just wonder why. It's like, oh, don't you want to go here? No, literally, I don't. You don't understand. When you do it for a living for a long time,
okay, I got stuff to do.
Some people don't get it, right? When you've done it for a living and you've been in it for years and you're second generation driver and you're just like, I like home. I really like home. Be away for 7 weeks on the road. You'll appreciate home, right? Like that when you're, and that's when you were only supposed to be on the road for 3 weeks, 3.5. Yep. Your trip was supposed to be about 3.5 weeks tops. Then they extended another 4 weeks, and send you around all over God's creation. All over the island, all over BC, into Alberta, and back into Saskatchewan, then back onto the island again, and then back to... It's like, and you're passing through home, and you're just like, son of a bitch, motherfuckers, you gotta give me 2 or 3 days off, or I'm gonna snap. Right? Oh yeah, I've been there, done that. It's like the weak generation yesterday. I keep seeing these videos pop up on YouTube, and this new generation, it's this generation between the ages of 18 and I want to say like 28 and 30, and they're whining and crying about working a 40-hour work week and not being able to afford everything. And I'm like, you're shocked about this, huh? Wow. And they're whining and crying about having to work the 40-hour work week is too much work because it's not paying them enough money. Newsflash, maybe try working some overtime, putting in some extra hours, putting in some actual work. Man, these guys have no idea what the hell we went through. None. I tried to tell everybody yesterday, my longest day was loading in Medicine Hat, 23,000 pounds, and it took 21.5 hours. And then we still had to drive 4 hours. Yeah, that's fun, right? And that was just the 2 of us loading. Because our labor had turned around and was too hungover and shit-faced. And it called in on us. So sometimes that shit happens. And you can't, it's not like you can just avoid, no, you can't avoid the job. You still gotta go load the job. So it sucks. You had no help, man. It's like this generation, man. They wouldn't have survived an hour doing what I used to do. No, not even 5 minutes. I don't think, actually. Now that I think about it, yeah. They would have cried or quit in the first 5 minutes. They would have came off the trailer, like I said. They'd be in the house. We'd be in the house packing and loading and wrapping and getting things ready. And I guarantee you they'd be one of those, this generation would be one of those kids that would come off the trailer from taking something from the house, he'd put it on the trailer, and then he'd probably come off the trailer and come back in the house empty-handed. Guaranteed. Especially if we were at the beginning of the job. I guarantee you wouldn't see that kid bring in pads or nothing. or tools, or, you know, just something. Fuck. Just don't come in the fucking house empty-handed from the trailer. You piss everybody off, including me. Because if I see that shit happen, oh yeah, I'm saying something. Yeah. I'm talking about it. I'm making noise. I'm like, what do you think this is? Like, fucking... Unless like everything's padded and wrapped and everything else in the house, then that's different. Like, and even then, like I was in that industry long enough that like you could go into the house and look around. Like even when you're doing the walk around, you're counting how many pads that room should need in your head. So as you're taking stuff out of the house, you're already going back to the trailer, and then you're taking pads off the trailer, and then you're going and dumping them in that next room, taking something from the one room you're still working in, and then you continue that process. That way, the person who's in the house, like you usually have a person doing prep, right, and doing their padding and wrapping, and then they'll get help. They'll ask for help accordingly if they need help when they're padding a piece, but you do it that way, and the person that's doing the prep work, right, therefore is always has something to do. So the process always continues. And then once that person's done padding and wrapping and everything's done, they're usually collecting the tools. They've got a job to do. They're usually collecting anything that's been any materials that can be loaded back up on the truck, on the trailer, put away. So their task, and then once their task is done, then they start helping the guys that are doing the two-man pieces, and then everybody keeps loading. The process keeps going, right? There's always something to do. But I ran into guys so many times where they could look around and they'd be like, so what do you want me to do? I'm like, you gotta be kidding me right now. No. Seriously? Like, and this was like 8 years ago. And it was a sad-ass generation that was coming up. No offense to them, but I mean, it was there. And the one kid, this is what I really can't stand, I gotta say it, and this is gonna make everybody laugh. Pockets. Hey? Those kids that walk around with their hands in their pockets? Your new nickname is Pockets. Okay? 'Cause I had a kid that was on the truck the one time, and he shows up onto the job, and he drove his car to site, and he shows up on the job, and as soon as he gets out of his car, he sticks his hands in his pockets and starts walking around, looking around, and I'm like, oh my fucking, you gotta be kidding me right now. I'm like, dude, pockets? He's like, what? I'm like, get your hands out of your pockets right now. Don't put them back in there. Your hands don't live in your pockets, dude. Alright? Keep your hands out of your pockets, period. Alright? Unless you're putting your keys in your pockets or going in your pockets to pull out your keys, that's it. It's the only time you need your hands in your pockets. Keep them out of your pockets. Pull your damn pants up, too. Why? What's wrong? Please tell me why people want to slant their pants halfway down their ass. Okay? That, to me, I mean, those guys wonder why they don't run from the cops. Or they can't make it far. Right? They're swimming in their own pants. Fuck. They gotta try and not die and trip when they're running. And they're holding their pants up. Right? Like they're gonna dive into the fucking things, man. I had some guys that were showing up like that, and I kicked them off site right away. I'm like, dude, you're a tripping hazard in those pants. You know? You're gonna fall face first and like bust your face wide open right off one of the walk boards, guaranteed. Some people got the IQ of a fruit roll-up, man. Yep. And even then, some people don't even know what the fruit roll-up is. So what happened? You take that away from the lunches at school too? What about gushers? As a woman, you definitely don't want to see that yet. I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit. I think it's weird. I wouldn't even let it, when those guys would show up on site, when people would be dressed like that, I'm like, I'm not even gonna, like, you're gonna freak out the customer, and the customer has children, like, fuck off, get lost, right? That's completely unprofessional. Like, you can't dress like that for work. I don't know how some people, I've looked at some people in life. You guys wonder why I have such a straight arrow mouth the way I do, and I fire on all cylinders. It's not sexy at all, exactly. And the thing is, it shows a high level, like your level of intelligence right off the bat before I even speak to you. So I look at you dressed like that, and I'm like, oh yeah, you kick rocks for sure. Like, you might be a 1 digit on your best day, man, but no. I mean, like, if I really wanted to scare you, I wouldn't pull a piece out on you. I'd throw a book at you because I know you'd run in the other direction. I'd open up a book and be like, look here, read this. Huh? And you'd be like, no, 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 put that away. I'd be like, no, 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 come here. Come here, read this. Huh? Some of you all need to read the Constitution. IQ 0, yeah, exactly. That's why I call. It's like they're kicking rocks down the street. It's like, you're a rock kicker, dude. Like, at first I thought maybe, you might be a 1 digit, and then you blew it. Right? Some of them, you look at them and you're like, and I've met so many people from walks of life over the years, and I've moved people. I've done the special products division, the commercial division. I have met thousands of people and thousands of attitudes. And I have no more tolerance for stupidity. I call it out now, as it is, right off the bat. I don't care if it hurts people's feelings. Like, my fans in GTA, right? There's some of the haters in GTA whining and crying, oh, you shouldn't say that, blah, blah, blah. What do you mean 1 digit? If you're asking me, what do I mean 1 digit? Well, clearly you own the 1 digit. We're going to get you a gold star. Hang on, right? Just wait a second here. Here you go. Give me your sheet. There you go, bud. Gold star. All right? You're going to get the allowance at the end of the week, maybe. Okay, fuck. I mean, if they set themselves up for it like that, like, I can't help you. I look at you and I'm like, there's probably no help for you. I'm going to give it to you straight, bud. Right? And then people can't, you know. Oh yeah. No, I'd have some really interesting conversations with some people in BC sometimes, like about 10 years ago, when some of the lazy motherfuckers were in the warehouse, and I was like, boys, I'm like, seriously, like, I need to get the fuck out of here and on the road. Like, you need to get your shit together right the fuck now and do your fucking job. Like, I'm that kind of person. Like, I don't fuck around. People wonder why. It's because, like, our generation has had to deal with so much stupid shit. Right? And I've had to see so much stupidity. I know you have too. That we're just sick of it. We just sit there and we're like, we don't care about this whole, you know, I'm gonna hurt your feelings type business. I don't care. I haven't been on board with that ever since they came out with all this feeling shit. Like, good for you. You got your feelings are hurt. Fantastic, right? Go wear bubble wrap everywhere and be in a bubble ball for all I care, right? What's wrong with these people? I'll tell you what's wrong with them. They're mentally ill. Huh? Yeah. They're off their meds, or they're too far gone on their meds that they just think everything's offensive, right? We shouldn't live in a world where, God forbid, you get pointed out on your stupidity. Oh no. Right? God forbid you own your bullshit. Exactly. You and I have had our fair share. But this weak-ass generation screaming and yelling and crying and whining and...
Whoa! You treating yourself at
different
the bike
genders,
shop?
all kinds of weird shit. Shake my head and I'm like, yep, you guys are doomed.
If I do say so myself.
Going straight to hell. I look at those people and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Satan has reserved you a condo in hell as we speak. Yeah. You're getting a bachelor pad for sure. Yep. And you're gonna get a free ticket there. Or whatever. First class. Yeah. Your last trip ever. Because I have God in my heart and I see everything that's going on around the world, and I'm just like, yep, you guys are doomed. I see people that are doing all the bad stuff, all that protesting, all that, you know.
For a serious-hearted criminal.
Exactly. But no, like, the thing is, I think there's no... The modern women growing up are wondering why men and older men won't have anything to do with them, dating-wise, and reality's hitting them in the face. Their time's slowly passing for them to being able to have children, and their ovulating schedules are starting to go out of whack, and they're starting to worry about ever having a family or settling down because their high expectations are way off the charts. And men just don't want to deal with bullshit. For instance, i.e. me. Like the other day, some guy came on here and he's like, you need a girlfriend, man, blah blah blah, and you've been single too long. I'm like, dude, listen, if you've been through 3 toxic relationships and you've lost everything, and then you know better. And then especially when you look at the society that we have nowadays and the dating that's going on, no thank you, bud. I'm not setting myself up for failure all over again. It's 3 strikes, you're out. You learn your lessons through life. i.e. number 1, okay? Lesson number 1 I'll give you guys all in life, okay? In my personal opinion, I would not live nowadays. I would not live with a person I'd be dating. There would not be, we're not moving in together. Right? Nope. Because the way I see it, right? When you've lost things 3 times, now I have a strict policy. If I was to get back in the dating game in a few years or something like that, right? And if things got serious and the person says to me, oh, I think we should move in together, I am going to sit there and say, absolutely no. It's strictly against my policy. You have your place, I have my place, that's it. Right? We have disagreement, I have my own place to go. I'm not going to set myself up for losing my things all over again. Never. No. 1 time, okay. 2 times, not okay. I told myself at the second time, if I lose my shit again to a breakup, and if my ex ends up taking my stuff, that's it. Then I'm gonna enact a very strict policy that I'm gonna have my own damn place from now on. And it happened, and I looked at her, and I was like, you know what? I was like, 3 strikes are out. And I told her, I was like, that's it. Don't ever think we're gonna move back in together ever again. And I was like, take it and go. I don't care. Take it, go. Get out of my face. Right? That's it. And I'll tell you guys something. Here's the thing. Once I enacted that strict policy, I ended up getting all the things I wanted back, besides my tools, right? Besides my collection of tools. I'll work on that. But mostly, it has been coming back in the last 3.5, almost 4 years now. In a couple months, it'll be about 4 years. Right? And it took 4 years to get everything back from accumulating things, or 4 years in that relationship, living in hell. Okay? Because apparently, you know, she basically, she had fought over me over everything, and I was sick and tired of it. I was sick and tired of the arguing and everything else, and I'm just like, go, just take it and go. I don't care, go, whatever. I don't care. I'll start over again. That's why I set my mind. I'm like, I don't care. Just give me a few things, and then that's it. Get out of my face, kind of thing. Take the rest of it. Go. Don't care. And that is because you become protective of your stuff. Okay? I don't want to lose my things. I like my things. Okay? I've lost my things and had to be uprooted, and nothing is worse than when you have a split up.
You need something, huh?
And then you have
one of your rides?
One of you
Let me
has
know.
to try and find a place, and then it's like that. Your comfort zone has everything. Your whole comfort zone. Just a pair of underwear. Yeah, pretty much. Yo, I had my clothes and my PlayStation. That was it. Yeah. I took my clothes, my PlayStation, and that little oh, I forget what it was called at the time. The Games Vanguard box, the little 19-inch monitor. You could put your system inside the box, and it was a case. It was a waterproof case, and it has a strap and all that. Right? Yeah, I had one of those for traveling and whatnot. So I was able to fortunate enough to get that and my Leafs jersey. Thank God. Or else I would have snapped. I've had this thing since I was a little kid. But yeah, she,
Aight, I'll get back to work.
Well, there you go, take the rest of it. Right? Kind of thing. I don't care. I'm not gonna fight and argue with you over it. And have an argument over who's who and what's what and who's, you know, like, I don't care. This gives me a chance to start over and get everything new. Like, cool. Like, this gives me a chance to enact my policy. So which means anything I have in life fully is mine. I don't share with nobody. Except for my girls. Right? My kids, yeah, that's a different story. Right? Because they can't steal it from me. Well, they could try. Right? And we're not going to get very far. But I mean, I wouldn't lose it for good, kind of thing. Like, for instance, I plan on buying one of those older used houseboats, like a fixer-upper, like hopefully in the fall of this year, so I can have something to work on over the winter time and get prepared to put on the lake for next summer. So I can have basically, you know, a cottage on the water, right? Then I'll basically probably stay on that sucker from spring until fall, kind of thing. Fishing, of course. Yeah, that's my plan. I don't want to go. Some guys who drive truck for years and whatnot, they want to get like this trailer, and they want to get a trailer, motorhome, drive across country, and I mean that's fine. But I just, sometimes I look at that and I'm curious, my brothers and sisters, because, I mean, did you not have enough of the road? You know? Like, has the road not kicked your ass enough that you really want to jump back now on the road and go and revisit all those places all over again? I mean, I get it. Sometimes it's nice, but no. I plan my routes in Alberta. It's nice. It's nice here. I'm gonna end up taking that houseboat and put it in different lakes each year around the Rocky Mountains. Okay. So those you can. Now some of you are gonna ask, like, what would you do about internet? Things like that. Well, thing is, you can get satellite internet for your vessel.
You know
right?
where to find me.
And there's enough wind that goes through the mountains and enough solar that you can actually, you won't have to burn as much fuel or even battery power to stay fully powered. Like your generator doesn't have to be operating all the time. Like your fuel generator, no, not here. In BC maybe, but not in Alberta. No. When you put houseboats on the lake in Alberta, you got enough draft of a wind. There'll eventually be wind coming through that day, and so you have a wind generator. You have a wind propeller doing the charge back to your batteries, and
fine,
you can
right?
also have your solar panels in high gear because we get a crap load of sun out here, and I mean a crap load all the time. The kind of sunshine that, well, it's so damn dry here. It sets everything on fire. And we get a thunderstorm, and then it's bad news bears. Right? It's like maybe a week or two from now, it'll be like Matchbox out there, in like a Kinderbox out in the woods, out here in Alberta. It'll be that much of a fire hazard. I mean, we already had a threatened wildfire here that threatened Fort Mac all over again, and that would have been bad, right, horrible. But it's just like, you know, it's that hot already and dry. So I don't smoke anymore, and I'm not judging anybody who does, but damn it, quit throwing your cigarette butts, okay, on the highway, especially here in Alberta. Because if you do, not only do you deserve a fine, but you deserve a smack upside the fucking head. Okay? Because you're gonna set this place on fire, dumbass. Alright? And, for that matter, when you're camping, put out your damn campfires properly, please. Okay? Please. I can't stress that enough. You know that last year, most of our wildfires out here in Alberta were mainly man-made mistakes? Yeah, they were man-made mistakes, or human error, as you call it, you know? More inclusive. Like, every time I hear that more inclusive BS and mumble-jumble, I think like, man, that's the mentally ill. We need to go and round those people up and take them to the funny farm. Yeah. Put them under observation and find out what went wrong. That's just my... You know. Anybody who's far left, okay, and who has these ideology policies and wants to be a weirdo, you want to follow Joe Biden, well... I mean, at this point, if anybody's gonna vote for Joe Biden, you deserve anything and everything that's coming to you. At this point, then there's no help for you. Your stupidity speaks for itself. You own stupid. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Like that's facts. All right. Same thing here in Canada. If you're voting for Justin Trudeau, if you're voting for that dummy, okay, then you're dumb. Then you're stupid.
We're all business today.
Then you
the
have
guns
no
are in an insurgent. Get it to the buyers and your job is done.
Then you're literally lost, and there's no hope for you. None. Nada. Because at this point, look at everything that's happened. Look at everything that's going on. Look at the chaos that's erupted all over again. And that's under those two governments. Please tell me how our world's safe out there right now. It's not. This is our country, and yet we've got terrorist protesters everywhere. Yeah, on our campuses, in our country, protesting. Joe Biden's doing fuck all about it. Justina Trudeau is doing fuck all about it. But yet, hang on, hear me out. Justina Trudeau can turn around and
what can I do for you?
The Emergencies
Okay, my
Act
friend.
on us
I'll take care of the
truckers
LSPD. Leave it to me.
who all we were trying to do is voice our opinions and our concerns at Freedom Convoy. Kind of like these Palestinian protesters are doing. Well, no, actually, wait a second. Not even close to like these Palestine protests, because you didn't see us being violent. You didn't see us lashing. No, you didn't see us destroying public property. No. You didn't see us. No. We weren't doing anything like that. It was peaceful protest. And yet, Justina Trudeau got so upset and so threatened by it. And then he brought out an army of cops. Not just, I mean, thousands of cops. Thousands of cops, pulled cops from all over the country, brought them to Ottawa. Can't make this up. Except for cops from here in Alberta. I don't think any cops from here in Alberta went out there, but I can sure tell you that he got so scared he invoked the Mercies Act. Now, he's such a weak leader that he won't do anything when it comes to terrorists protesting on his own soil and committing domestic acts of terrorism. And yet, he's going to try and pass this law this week where he's going to try and censor anything, and then they can put you on house arrest if they think that you're saying hate speech. Well, then all the protests that are going on in front of those universities, every single one of them are going to have to be arrested and jailed for hate speech because they're chanting death to Jews. They're chanting all kinds of terrorist chants. Like, I'm not even going to go into half of them or even scratch the surface with it, but they're not chanting peaceful protests at all. And we even have video documented evidence all over YouTube. Several independent media sources now have pure proof, especially with the Indian protest out in PEI, when a person turned around and got violent. Now, they want to stay in this country, but they want to be violent. They want to start a violent protest, and they want to scream and yell about our civil rights. But they don't even know about our civil rights, and they're not even from here. And the one guy doesn't even have a PR, a visitor's visa, nothing. They're just a visitor's visa, and doesn't even know anything about Canada, and was trying to educate a Canadian about Canada, and was trying to tell a Canadian citizen that he's got rights to be here to protest. Let me tell you guys something and educate you guys something, okay? All you illegal immigrants right now in both Canada and the United States, all you foreign immigrants, students, student visas, all of you on student visas, you're about to be identified, profiled as domestic terrorists for committing acts of domestic terrorism on our school campuses. You are on Canadian and American soil. This is North America. This is our country. Our ancestors fought wars for our freedom of speech, for our freedom here in this country. Sorry that you didn't come from this country. That's not our problem. Okay? But I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to make myself very clear. You have no rights in this country. As student visas and as temporary foreign workers, okay, and as people with PR, you do not have any rights in this country. You are not full-fledged citizens. You need to be a full-fledged citizen to bear the exact same rights as a citizen of the United States of America and a citizen of Canada. I can't be any more clear than that.
Looks like you sold out. To the right people, too. Only the...
Listen, humanitarian rights apply to you guys, of course, when you're here in this country. But you don't get the same rights and freedoms as we do. You absolutely do not. You don't get the right to vote. You don't get the right to protest. If you start protest and you start being violent and you start being destructive in this country, that is called domestic terrorism. You will be charged for that shit and put on a terrorist watch list and barred from Canada and the United States for the rest of your fucking life. It's that simple. These rules are gonna be enforced this week, whether you like it or not. I'm giving you guys the warning. If you don't like that, tough shit. Don't hate the messenger, but I mean, sooner than later, you guys are gonna find out the reality this week, because you guys want to see how far you could push. Well, the United States and Canada are gonna push back, and that's gonna be the facts and reality of what's gonna happen. We are gonna round you guys up, and we are gonna ship you all back on a boat and a plane back to your own country. You're gonna get rounded up. These protests are gonna get surrounded by police and sheriffs and the military. And then what's gonna happen is you're all gonna be placed under arrest. Okay? And then you're gonna be identified. Your masks and everything else, you're gonna be identified. You're gonna be profiled, you're gonna be pictured. We're gonna find out where you're from. Then when we find out where you're from, then like I said, if you're a student here and you're from another country, guess what? You just lost your student visa, you just lost everything, you just lost your education, you go back to your own country and you never get to come back. You are barred from Canada and the United States. You get barred from both countries. That's it. You get treated as a domestic terrorist. Okay? You'll be lucky if your asses don't get... You'll be lucky if Guantanamo Bay doesn't get reopened. They're seriously considering it. Because I'm telling you something, New York's about had it. New York's about to go rounding you guys up in Greyhound buses. Because they're not going to tolerate you guys beating up cops. Okay? They're not going to tolerate these foreign immigrants coming in and beating on our no. And causing domestic terrorist protests. No, you guys are done. I'm telling you. You can camp out there and think that you're not going to be able to move all you want, but eventually there's going to be some shoving going on and you're not going to like it.
Hola.
And that's exactly what's going to happen.
Okay.
Because they're already strategizing. They're already asking people like me, how should we handle this situation in Canada and the United States? Right? And we're already sitting there in negotiation talks with them and basically telling politicians this is exactly how you handle the situation.
You're through to your garage. You, need me to bring you a ride?
You start rounding them all up. They want to start breaking laws. They want to act like animals in this country. They want to protest like animals in this country. They want to squat in this country. Right? They want to be domestic terrorists, and they want to have weapons. And they're not protesting peacefully. So, they want to cause shit. Well, then I say we enact our militaries now. And we go in by force, take them by force, surround their encampments, and then move in on them in a great big circle. And just, we'll circle them like rats. And then as soon as we have them all circled, we'll identify each and every single one of them. Right? Each and everybody, especially everybody who's full-faced masked. Yeah, you definitely getting put on a watch list. Yeah. So if you guys don't like that, I suggest, here's my suggestion, and I'm gonna give you guys a nice public warning, okay? It's coming whether you like it or not. This public warning will be coming out from a much higher person up the food chain than myself. And it will be coming out with a loud speed megaphone, probably from a great big armored truck. Okay? Who would be probably and likely be either the sheriffs or the military. Now, you're all gonna get told and warned. You're gonna get a public warning service announcement right now. That's what's gonna happen if you stay in that encampment. And then it's going to be deemed that if you don't belong in this country, if you're here on a PR, if you're here on a work permit, if you're here on a student visa, you can kiss all of that goodbye forever. And you're never ever coming back. And you'll never be able to apply to the United States. You'll never be able to apply to Canada. And your family members will never be able to come here either, because your last name, your entire family name will be blacklisted. Do you understand? So, that is what is about to happen to each and every one of you foreigners who are in this country illegally, who are students illegally protesting, who are people who are here illegally protesting, domestically protesting. Okay? That's the bottom line. And the students of India who are over in PEI right now, you better stop here. You turn around and you used a gaping loophole that Justin Trudeau created. If you guys call that you are over here as student visas, you're here to study. You're not here to work and take our jobs. Why are you even here working? If you're here to study, you're supposed to be able to be doing your studies and being able to support yourself. That was the whole thing about coming here and going through the school program to study. And then some of you are sitting there saying that you needed to go and get work experience. Well, for your job that you're studying for in school, there's no going to university to have a retail job at Tim Hortons, at a coffee shop. Nobody, that job does not require a fucking university education. So I see right through that bullshit. Okay, and I have for a long time. You guys use that gaping fucking loophole to bring in a bunch of Indian people into this country who don't belong here. And who are here illegally. And who are protesting here illegally. Who are working illegally. Who are here on student visas, who are working 40 hours a week. Taking Canadian jobs and American jobs. Each and every one of those people need to be investigated. And when they're found that they're in breach and they're in violation of their student visas, they need to be revoked and they need to be put on a plane and sent back to their own country. It's as simple as that. And we'll clean up everything. All right. Now, I'm already in negotiations. I've been talking with politics around here, so I mean they know my my stance on this, right? And things are certainly being considered, okay? Because we need to do something, right? You can't just occupy our country like that. You can't just occupy little areas and sit there and say you have the right to free speech and you have the right to protest when you're not even a citizen of a full-fledged citizen of that country. And a lot of you here in Canada, you've been caught on video at these protests at the University of Toronto saying that you hate Canada and that you hope Canada burns and the United States. But yet you're on Canadian soil, protesting on Canadian soil. You're a domestic terrorist. And you don't belong in my fucking country. We're going to pack your shit for you. And we're coming to collect you motherfuckers. Okay? And we're going to ship you guys back. I'm telling you. There's going to be some clashing happening this week. I give it about a week, 2 weeks tops. Yeah. Because everywhere around here is just done. We're all fed up with this shit. Okay? There's going to be... The gloves are coming off soon. Right? There's going to be no more Mr. Nice Guy. Right? Sooner than later, these protesters, they don't get it. They think they're big and tough. They're not. They're not. You're not bigger and tougher than the fucking police forces. They're going to come out in full fucking force, man. And then they're going to have the army to back them up. So even if you think you're going to have a fucking chance at pushing your way through the cops and running away, you're sadly mistaken, because the whole entire perimeter will be secured. I'm gonna tell you guys how it's gonna work, okay? Your little protests and demonstrations that you have at the universities, okay? You have them right in front of the university, okay? The police are going to surround you in an entire square block. Then outside of that block is going to be another perimeter in case you happen to breach the perimeter coming at you to arrest you and dismember your encampment. Do you understand? Okay. Because if you somehow make it through the first line, the second line of officers are going to whoop your ass. And they're going to drop you right to the fucking ground and zip tie you. Okay? And haul your ass off to jail. Either way, Each and every one of you protesters that keep staying there at the protests, you're all going to jail. At some point. And then when you go through due processing, you're either going to get charged with domestic terrorism if you're a Canadian citizen here in Canada, or if you're an American citizen in America, you're going to get charged with domestic terrorism and you're going to do a long time in jail. In concrete jail. Not in your houses. No, you're going to get taken to a facility. Domestic terrorists, they get put in a maximum security system. They get put in max, alright? You go to max prison, you go to max jail. You get locked up in a hole and they throw away the key. They don't give a shit about you. They put you in a small room. You might be lucky if you get the Bible. And you get a pillow and you get a blanket and a mattress. That's it. And some toothpaste and a toothbrush and a stick of deodorant. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But I mean, if you act as a domestic terrorist, that's exactly how domestic terrorists get treated. You get put in solitary confinement. And nobody gives a shit about you ever again. Because why would we want a domestic terrorist running around using weapons and causing mass destruction like you're doing right now at protests? Why would we want people like that in our society? Huh. Yeah, we don't. People like you don't belong in society. If you want to act like animals, you're going to get caged like animals. Okay? That's just the bottom line. And then those of you who don't belong in the country, you'll be caged like animals too for a while, and then, well, by the hundreds, and by the thousands, by the groups, plane load by plane load by plane load, you guys will be rounded up and shipped off back to your own countries. You'll have a one-way free ticket back. You won't even have to pay for it. We'll just load you up and see ya. Drop you off. You're never coming back. You're blacklisted from North America. See ya. Good luck. Sounds mean, doesn't it? Well, here's the thing. You were maybe, you know, there was a little bit of sympathy in the very, very beginning of things, a long time ago, right? When people start seeking asylum a little bit, but then when things started getting destructive and policies started changing and mass immigration happens with student visas and taking jobs and our housing away from us, yeah, there's a problem. So how do we solve the problem? How do we get our homeless people off the street? Right? How do we get Americans and how do we get Canadians off the street? We get rid of the student visas and we get rid of the protesters who are here illegally or are here on student visas protesting illegally and doing domestic terrorism. And I guarantee you we'll have some housing cleared up big time. Oh yeah. And then, like I said, then any one of their family members who are here in this country, we should seize their assets and we should ship them back to the country too. So if they own a house here in this country, if they own a house in America, if they own a house in Canada, if any of their family does, then their family should be linked to domestic terrorism, their accounts should be frozen, their assets should be sealed and sold off, and they should be shipped back to their own country. And those assets should be given back to the communities that had the damage done to them. And that had to put up with and put up with all this bullshit to begin with. It had to be said. And I'm saying it, right? Yeah. You guys know I have thick skin. You can love me or hate me, I don't care. Two things are going to happen, right? You either, one, laugh with me, or you either laugh at me, right? Or you hate absolutely everything that comes out of my mouth, just like there's a lot of people that hate any one of us, basically, that speak out like this, right? We know what comes with this. We know it comes with backlash and hatred online. I don't care. I've been through it all in the last 3 years, right? Hatred. I've been called everything in everything pretty much on the planet except for a white person, right? So if anybody wants to drop the W for me, right, and call me a white person, cool. You're gonna get a gold star, all right, and you'll complete me, all right. You'll complete the insults, right? Because apparently you can hurl around that, and that's not racist. You can call white people, right? But you can't be racist towards other race. Yeah, it's a funny kind of narrative. So I call bullshit on it, and there's going to be a lot more people like myself who have been standing up and are just saying, like, we're not putting up with your feelings hurt, being hurt bullshit, and your Fantasyland narratives. And I mean, holy fuck, you got psychopaths right now, women, who are screaming and yelling, saying that it's a woman's right to fucking kill a child, to kill a fetus. Come on. And they're trying to hide that right off the bat, but Freeland's trying to hide it in front of everybody's face by trying to protect it, saying women have the rights to free menstrual supplies or free birth control. But in that bill, she's putting it that women will have the right to be able to go and get an abortion whenever the hell they want. If that was the case, man, my ex turned around and threatened that to me one time. She threatened to get an abortion once, just because we were in a fight. We were in an argument. Just a regular argument. And that's my youngest. You wait till my youngest gets older and I tell my youngest about that. Yeah, she's gonna look differently at her mother, that's for sure. Yeah. Her mother's gonna have karma's gonna come back and bite her mother in the ass, because her mom has done a lot of nasty things. Right? And she thinks she's gonna get away with it. She's one of the most toxic people on the planet. She'll be nice to your face and all nice and innocent to your face and nice voice and everything, and give you that like that look, like that innocent looking look on the face, like I've never done anything wrong in my life. And it's just, if I seen people like that look at me again, I'm like, I know you're psycho, because I can tell your toxic traits right off the bat. But yeah, we were in an argument once. It was a regular argument over finances, right? It was just simple things, and she was taking a fit because she was pregnant and whatnot, and going through hormone changes because she's never been pregnant, and she's Filipino, like purebred Filipino, like was born there and everything, and she just fucking loses it on me, and hits me a few times, and then says, I can just get an abortion. I fucking looked at her. I was like, who do you think you are, a baby killer now? What, you think you can take human life? Like, I don't fucking think so. You try that shit, see what happens, right? I'll make you feel like a piece of shit for the rest of your life. Like, you have no right doing that, right? That's something that I gave you my seed, and that's something that you always wanted. You always wanted to start a family and everything else, and then you have the audacity and you have the fucking gall to come around and say something like that. So imagine if the fucking birth control, or if it was legal for her to turn around and do that back then, she could have turned around and done that behind my back and murdered my child. Right? And that would have been okay? I don't think so. I'm not ever going to be okay with that. No. Women do not have a right to an abortion. The only time that an abortion should ever be considered is under extreme circumstances. That's it. And we don't have to repeat what those extreme circumstances are. But that, and only that, those things should be considered. It should not be a woman's right. Are you fucking kidding me? Then it should be a man's right to beat a woman when a woman hits a man. Yep. Especially when you abusive, toxic women even hit a man once. If you abusive, toxic, if you guys want to play that game, then hey, us men want to turn around. If you think that you can kill our seed that we put inside you, even over in an argument, because you want to use that as a threat or as a weapon, well then, I think if you want equality, then if you hit a man, even once, then a man should have the right to throttle you right back. Alright? If you shove a man should have the right to shove you. If you even want to turn around and hit us in public like you turn around and you do, and I see some of you do on YouTube, and you hit your boyfriend because he turns around and he tells you, like, you can't, we're not going here, we're not going there, we're not doing this, or he's not going to do that with you, and you have a little hissy fit, and you think it's okay to just turn around and punch him one right in the arm. Would you think it's okay if a man turns around and just punches you right in the arm, right out in public, just because they want to? No. If you show that you're an aggressive person like that, then you're an abuser, and then you need fucking psychological help. And you're the gaslighting piece of shit. Okay? And you wonder why men don't want anything to do with modern women. Because modern women, most modern women, up until the age of 38 right now, their minds are fucked in their heads. Especially the ones that are between the ages of 18 and 30 right now. Right? My ex just passed 35. And the amount of stupid expectations that she had, I kept trying to explain to her over and over and over again. You guys don't get it, but you guys are getting it now, because you're seeing that the economy's gone to shit. You're seeing that people are ending up on the streets and homeless. You're understanding that most of you are going to college or university, and you've graduated and you still can't get a job in your field, and you're still stuck working at McDonald's, hey, and you're living in your parents' basement, and hopes and dreams of you guys ever having a home or even starting a family are slowly slipping away because you're in your early 30s and you only have a certain amount of time left before your biological clock stops ticking, and it will be almost next to impossible for you to, you know, embrace and having a child or starting a family, owning a home and being able to pay it off within the time, so you can be able to enjoy retirement or be able to, you know, pass it on to your children and your family. That life is slipping away, and Gen Z and the new gen growing up is figuring that out. Sucks, doesn't it? Right? That's reality. That is facts and reality. Life has become so unsustainable and unaffordable that you can't afford to do it all on your own. You can't. We went through this yesterday, everybody, right? Because Gen Z.
What's up?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Right? Just a heads up, and the modern generation growing up right now, you all have habits. You all have these fast food habits of going to McDonald's, Starbucks, okay? Your Starbucks costs $6 a shot. Your McDonald's meals are anywhere between $6 and $15 a shot. That's a day, right? And then you guys are doing this vaping stuff. So I imagine, I mean, what, even the cheapest cartridge might be $5, $10, but yeah, I mean, you guys blow through one of those in a day. Now, you're also working, but you're also trying to buy groceries, right? You're trying to pay rent. You're trying to balance, after all that, you're trying to budget your rent, or balance your rent. You're trying to balance your cell phone bill, your credit cards, and whatever else you got to pay for, and probably your student loans, right? And then you're freaking out at the end of it, going, I don't have any money left. No kidding. You're not going to make it. It's called, they jacked up the prices of everything. Okay. I blew the whistle on this and sounded the alarm and tried to tell everybody too at the beginning of this, way before Pierre Poilievre even like made it big time public knowledge, which I'm glad he did. But that when Justin Trudeau even mentioned the thought of that tax last year, I quickly analyzed it and I was like, especially as a truck driver, as a retired one, I was thinking to myself, like, hold on a second, all this pricing stuff rolls downhill. If what he's saying is he's going to try and implement what he's saying, then ultimately that tax is going to fall right down to the farmer and the trucking industry, and the trucking industry is going to have to charge the farmer more because he's got to cover his fuel costs. And I understand this from that side of view, okay? And he's got to cover his maintenance costs and fuel costs in order to pick it up. And so as soon as it gets to the store, now the transportation company has to charge the store more for bringing it to their when they supply into need. The store has to turn around and cover their costs, so they have to up, well, they don't have to, but corporations do it anyways, and that's how cost works. So they have to cover their costs, right? And even that's even happening in smaller restaurants, and you're noticing that smaller restaurants and businesses are getting rid of upper management and hiring cheaper staff and hiring these new generation kids, but they're not working and they're not doing anything because it's a lazy generation. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But the fact is all these big, even smaller businesses, they have to incorporate the costs. They have to swallow the cost too. So they look at everything and they're like, okay, where can we cut costs? Because now it's costing more. Everything gets delivered by the truck. You understand? So the truck always will raise the money on the fuel. We're not driving ever. We don't work for free. We're not bringing anything for free. You understand? We have to cover our costs. That's it. That's the bottom line. So if I'm paying $1.70 a liter for fuel, for diesel, you're paying me $2. Because I need to have some maintenance, and I need to make some money on that too, right? I'm gonna need to make some money on that. Plus, I'm giving you an on-time delivery service. I'm giving you a reliable service. Okay? Now, those businesses now have to pay higher fuel costs to the trucking companies. So they're gonna look at their budgets and they're gonna go, where can we cut back on everything? And they start with management, they start with staff, and they find out who's making the most amount of money, and then they slowly wean them out. Period. And then they go down the list, and then they go down to their supplies. And I'm not even kidding you, because I have delivered to certain franchise stores before, and that's exactly what they do when they need to cut costs. They start with upper management, and then they go down to with their supplies. Okay, that's why we went through this whole thing yesterday, that fast food is not good for you at all, because you never know what they go cheap on their supplies. Right? Their quality of food is not the same quality of food as it was 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. It's not. I'm telling you that right now. I know firsthand. Right? I used to eat McDonald's on a daily basis for years. Well, not on a daily basis for years, but for a good 2 years I was. But for years I was a loyal, faithful McDonald's person, because, I mean, the quality of food back then was it was okay. It was good. It was not bad. And like I said, in the last 5 years, no. It's downhill. Absolutely downhill. You want? Okay. You guys don't believe me? Here. I'll tell you something. For those of you who buy the Black Diamond cheese that's in plastic wrap, okay? You know those square little things of cheese, right? That you slap on a sandwich and with some meat, and you think, oh, I'm good to go, right? Can I tell you something about that stuff? That's not real cheese. That's not even close to real cheese. Okay? That's processed plastic with some food coloring, and you think I'm full of shit, but I'm not. I'm telling you, if you have that in your house right now and you have a lighter, go to a safe spot outside, open that package of cheese, take that cheese out of that plastic package, light the lighter, and hold it near that piece of cheese. What happens to that piece of cheese? Tell me what happens to that piece of cheese. Tell me if it burns, Huh? Because cheese isn't supposed to burn. Cheese isn't supposed to light on fire like that and bubble. Okay? Cheese is supposed to melt. Yeah. You're welcome. Okay? So that's why you buy the brick of cheese. That's why you pay a little bit extra. People complain, but I mean, people like me know that to buy a brick of cheese, you buy a long brick of cheese, okay? You don't buy that processed squared shit. See, V knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. These are things you learn when you get older. The modern generation sitting there making those TikTok videos and YouTube videos, and they're sitting there with like all the different kinds of disgusting foods that they're eating, and they're going, oh, look at the taste testing I'm doing. What? Taste testing? Listen, you're putting poison in your body there, okay? You're showing you're kind of dumb because you're not looking up what kind of crap you're putting in. Cinnamon Toast Crunch? You guys know how much sugar's in that shit? Huh? Come on. You want to know what the #1 cause of cancer is? They won't give you all the details and the facts, right? Sugar. Sugar. Here's some dirty facts for everybody. Fun facts, actually, okay? We all have cancer. Yeah, we all have cancer. There's a small amount of cancer in our body. Now, before you get freaked out and everything, right? Hear me out, okay? We have the small active cancer cells, okay? You can make your own cheese, perfect. I want to make my own cheese too. The thing is, we have sugar levels we need to regulate in our body and keep regulating. Now, if we put too much of those sugars in our body, okay, it's bad, okay? Then those cells, those cancer cells in our body have a chance to activate and grow and disperse throughout your body. You can't make this shit up. Alright? What's going on, Mike? Welcome to the channel. Now, for those of you who like to go to 7-Eleven during the summertime and get a great big Slurpee that's huge, right? And get like 5 different flavors jammed in there and whatever. You got something massive. My day's going awesome, dude. How about yours? You know how much sugar you're putting in your body? Tons. Lots. Way more than you should. That's like a month's worth of sugar you're going to indulge in a time span of an hour. And you wonder why your heart rate increases, and you wonder why your body gets the jitters. Now, you just put a bunch of poison in your body, which means that you increase your chances of having cancer. Now, if you're one of those people who eats a lot of baked goods, cookies, donuts, cupcakes, anything that basically a lot of sugar drinks, energy drinks as well, look at your sugar intake in the entire day. Okay? Now, if you keep down that damaged path, chances are you're going to develop health problems at some point. That's true. Babe, what's going on, dude? Does that make sense to any of you? Because they won't instruct you about that at school. They won't educate you about that at school anymore. Right? They educated to that to us at school when I was growing up. Okay? To not don't go apeshit with your sugar levels. Right? You want to eat a cookie? Okay, fine. Guess what? Reward yourself with a chocolate chip cookie as a dessert after dinner or something. Okay? Or a small portion of ice cream. Ice cream is another thing. Ice cream will kill you. Right? Ice cream tastes good, yeah, but you have to portion it out. You know, obesity is happening here in Canada and the United States, and it's because of the sugar levels. It's the amount of sugar we put in our bodies, and it creates diabetes. Right? That's the number. Diabetes, right there. Right? All has to do with sugar. if you change your lifestyles, and if you eat more, I know it sounds like I'm preaching, but you eat more fruits and vegetables and more things done and cooked at home, you're much happier and interesting lifestyle, for sure. I would much rather eat watermelon, my fruits, and my vegetables over a McDonald's meal any day. 100%. Now that I'm thinking about it, I've got fresh sliced watermelon in the fridge now, and it's nice and access to have. Okay, whenever I get a nice craving, go and have that. Rice. I'm gonna be doing rice and eggs this morning. Fried rice for sure. Right. Maybe steaming vegetables later. I'm telling you guys, you will save a lot of money too. You won't complain about your grocery bills because a lot of you modern, generation are, like I said, you're trying to buy groceries on top of your $6 a day Starbucks habit, and it's just not going to happen. You're going to sink your ass into debt forever. Yeah. You're going to take your somewhat credit rating in hopes of having a credit rating, and you're going to take that into the toilet. Yeah. And then, the creditors are going to come by and hit the flush button. Next thing you know, you're in debt consolidation. Believe me, you're going to be living at home with your parents for a while, especially if you vote in Justin Trudeau or Joe Biden, okay? Joe Biden don't even know what he had for lunch, okay? And the man stands and shits and pisses himself as he tries to make a speech and then gets lost on his way out. Yeah, he's not a leader. Now, Justin Trudeau asks everybody, do you like my socks? And screams out he's a feminist. And likely will travel the country all over again like he did last year, attending every gay pride parade that he can. Because I think he's coming out of the closet this year. Yeah. I really do. I think Vegas will be putting bets on it, and I think us Canadians, we should be putting bets on it too, that he comes out by the end of June. Right? Maybe even the end of the... there should be bets, right? Does it come out within the first week? Then week 2, week 3, right? On tour, right? What city? Does he come out in Ottawa? Does he put his little pride flags back up and replace the Canadian flags and piss off every Canadian that there is on planet Earth? Like, who knows? Okay? But one thing we do know, one thing BAM is concerned, is actually pretty much, and Elon Musk stands behind me on this one, okay? Justin Trudeau is the Antichrist, 100%. Justina Trudeau is the Antichrist. Elon Musk even tweeted out that his new policy is almost just absolute. That's exactly what an evil dictator does to his people. That's not being there for the people. Okay. This guy is exactly trying to be like a Chinese dictator. Yeah, he's trying to turn Canada into communism, and we're not gonna let it happen. Nope. There's gonna be a revolution happen now. And you're gonna see it. Civil unrest. It'll happen in Canada. I know it's already happening in the United States in some spots, but it's gonna happen here. Civil unrest will eventually happen here. Especially if that law even so much as crawls through Parliament.
All right. We just gotta strip this bad boy,
Yeah,
and then the
guaranteed.
money is all ours.
You'll see. You will see. Yeah, it's not me inciting it either, and I'm not one of those people who would incite it and sit there and go and encourage it. No. I'm just giving the reality. I'm able to predict and see the future. Like, I'm able to tell what's going to happen. I'm able to read into the future. It's a nice little talent I have, I've noticed. But I'm able to predict things. When I was letting my ex know in 2020 that these things were going to happen with the vaccine and everything else, and they were going to force us, and they were going to force like limit our travel and everything else. She's like, no, that sounds crazy and everything else. I'm like, no, that's exactly what's going to happen. And I started giving her all the details of what's going to happen, and they were going to try and mandate it and everything, and make it mandatory for us to wear masks everywhere. And she's like, no, that sounds like that'll never happen. I'm like, yes, it will. Like, it's about to happen right now, right? And that's what was sparking our arguments. At like about 4 months into the whole lockdown bullshit, and we're having arguments back and forth, and it just made sense to me because I'm like, look at this. I'm like, if we're supposed to wear a mask, I'm like, how come the people? You remember when the George Floyd protest was going on? I'm like, how come the massive protests like that? How come there's massive amounts of people? I was like, look back. I was like, you would think if they're sitting there telling us that there's something out there that's so deadly, killing us all, you would think that all these people are going to get infected then. I said to her like that, and she just looked at me for a second. I was like, wow. I was like, doesn't that make common sense? I was like, that sounds like it could be true, right? She's like, well, there's a lot of masks. I'm like, no. I'm like, they say that we need social distance. I'm like, those people are not social distancing. I'm like, so how can this be true? And then I started adding up numbers, or their weekly numbers. I'm like, their weekly numbers aren't adding up. Right? And then she didn't believe me. She's like, no, that's just you writing it down. Then I started taking pictures of day 1, day 2, day 3, day 5, and what the end result was of the week. And I showed her the map, and I showed her the evidence, and then she's like, no, that's wrong. And then so even she was convinced that they had. It was like they had people convinced beyond stupidity. Like there was no more common sense left. Like common sense had gone right out the window. It's like anybody left with common sense was considered crazy. Yeah. Wrap your head around that one. And there's still people outside wearing masks. Like, my message for those people who are outside wearing masks right now, one, you're either a coward to show your face as a protest, right? It just shows that you're a coward piece of dog shit. And then, second of all, are you sick? Because you're outside in fresh air. You know, if you're wearing a mask outside, fun facts, okay? You're breathing in your own toxins right back into your lungs, okay? You're not getting any fresh air into your body, and you're actually starving your body of the oxygen it needs, and you're causing damage to your heart. It's fun facts. It is. Yep. You're slowly but surely starving your heart of oxygen, and you're actually end up making your heart work at least 1.5, if not twice as hard as what it normally is supposed to be beating at. Right? And that's just the facts. Because you're adding undue pressure and stress onto your heart. Because your heart, the oxygens, especially your lungs, are going to try and you're starving them with fresh oxygen. So they're suffocating. You're suffocating yourself. Slowly but surely you're suffocating yourself. And what will end up happening is you'll end up drowning in your own... all that stuff will turn into mucus, and then all that mucus is going to build up into your lungs. And then since you're not disposing that out of your mouth, and you're not spitting that out, and you're just basically drowning yourself more and more, you're going to drown your lungs. You're going to drown and die. That's facts. Don't like it? Too bad. But that's the facts they won't give you. So you can wear a mask outside in public all you want, but you're not protecting anything. You're just hiding your identity because you're a coward. That's it. That's all. That's a dirty detailed facts. Don't like the facts? Don't wear the mask. Right? If you don't want the... You know what's going to happen now, you little snowflakes? Now people like me are going to come out and start calling you guys for what you are. And if you don't want to turn around and come out and act like a bunch of little fairies and a bunch of little, you know, misgendered puppeteers, and I don't know what else to call you guys at this point. You're just a bunch of freaks to me. Like, you guys make no sense. Especially with all this, five genders, trigender. You don't get that shit out of my kids' schools right now. Like, you guys are mentally ill. Like, the definition of mentally ill, 10 years ago, that was the definition of mentally ill. So how the fuck does that change now? Right? If you call that sane, then anything that is coming out of my mouth is still sane, because I'm still allowed to have an opinion. Because you can't sit there and tell me that some trigender person who decides to wake up and pretend like they're going to be a dog today, or pretend like they're going to be a cat, or say, I don't feel like a man, I'm a woman today, or I'm going to be a man in the morning, and I'm going to be a woman in the afternoon, and then maybe the children I teach in school, I think it's hilarious that they don't know what to think of me, because I'm just a mess myself. Like, yeah, you are, right? Those people are mentally ill. Okay? We're going to start calling it for what it is. People are going to start getting called out. I'm going to start the movement. Oh yeah. I'm going to start the call-out movement. Okay? I own that. Trademarked, bam bam. Okay? I got it right now. The call-out movement's going to start. We're going to start calling them out for what they are. Right? You look ridiculous. If you got pink hair mixed in with blue or green and stuff like that, and you got makeup all over your face, right? And you turn around and you stole the rainbow out of the Bible, and you put it on a flag and somehow think you own that, well, you stole that from the Bible. So you don't even have your own identity. Right? You're trying to make up an identity. You live in a fantasy world. Okay? You're delusional, is what it is. Okay? You're not on the same page as reality as most people with common sense. And the people with common sense are now breaking reality down to you delusional people, and you're having a mental breakdown because society is not putting up with this shit anymore. Society is fed up. We're about to take you delusional people and round you up, just like we're about to do with all the illegal protesters that are here and all the illegal immigrants. And you can either go with them or you can, you can go over their country and, go there, start your ideology over there, see if they believe in that stuff. Right? See if they believe that you should bring gender ideology into where children are just supposed to be children and try to grow up in school. Yeah. I have a lot to say, and I always have a lot of opinion, and I know I'm well hated for it, but I don't give a rat's ass, as I'm always going to say my opinion. As I'm one of those people, I don't give a fuck what people think about me. Not one bit. Nope. See, I decided to go down a path as a man, right? And I'm on that path, and I'm not letting anybody take me off that path, okay? And that path is sharing sobriety, going through my sobriety with all of you, right? With getting off drinking, which, by the way, we're cutting through day 3 here. I know it's a small number now, but it'll get bigger. And, my opinions about everything, all the things that are going to happen out there in the world. Like, I keep track when I get off GTA here, and when I in between my live streams during the day, because you guys know I usually do at least 2 or 3 live streams a day. Now, I try to keep up with the world events and what's going on, and lend in my 2 cents in on it. 'Cause I'll tell you, if people who are protesting illegally and causing domestic terrorism think that they have free speech, well, then I have free speech, and I can speak my mind. Because if you're not going to hold them accountable for shit, you can't hold me accountable for shit. And you can't say what I'm doing is wrong. Because I can point out very clearly that that's fucking wrong. Because I guarantee you if that was Canadians doing that... Oh, wait a second. It was Canadians trying to peacefully protest, and we got attacked by the police. But yet, they whined and cried when they got their asses kicked in Edmonton and Calgary. I guarantee you, you shouldn't try that again in Alberta. You shouldn't try that pro-Palestinian bullshit in Alberta ever again. Because I guarantee you, if you thought that the first time the brute force was used, it'll get used again. And like I said, each and every one of you, the next time, will get rounded up and arrested and identified and put on a terrorist watch list and charged with domestic terrorism, and you'll get sent back to your own country immediately and barred from North America. Yeah, we're very strict here in Alberta. Understand? We're the Texas of Canada. Yeah. We won't put up with bullshit. Yeah. We're not snowflakes here. It's survival of the fittest here. Like I explained to a lot of you. Okay? A lot of you lefties and liberals and or Democrats have tried to move out west near the Rockies, and you've seen your first hailstorm and or experienced your first winter of life-threatening cold that lasts for longer than a week, and you pack your shit and you leave because you're weak, because you're soft like tissue paper. Okay, we fold you up like an airplane, like paper airplane, and go see ya, bye. Have a nice trip. See you next never. You know? That's true. Because the liberal snowflakes have made it their destination to come out here and to see mountains and stuff like that and go, oh, it would be nice to live out here. And then they wonder, oh, shit, there's a bunch of conservatives that live out here. Uh-oh, fuck. Hey? And we believe in guns, and we believe in beef, and we believe in hunting, and we believe in hockey, and we hold hockey as a top priority sport. And drinking beer comes natural here in Alberta. Shit, it doesn't come natural for me anymore. Anyways, I'm getting offline. For now. I gotta see what kind of bullshit's happened over the weekend. As for that helicopter crash, by the way, I know I'm gonna get asked about that. What my thought is about that one. And that one doesn't make sense. Okay. A group of helicopters, and then 2 government officials on the same helicopter that crashes and that gets taken into a bad weather event. It gets directly taken into bad weather by a pilot that normally does not fly those 2 government officials around at all. Pretty fishy to me, huh? Okay. Doesn't add up, does it? Something doesn't add up there. Because, you see, I'll put it to you this way. Out of a class of 40 pilots, okay, and let's say they go by number 1 is the person with the highest score, okay, pilot number 49 and 50 are not going to be the qualified pilots, and not even right up to number 5. Everybody from at least number 5 to all the way to 50 are not even going to make the qualifications list to even be able to apply to fly around a highly government official like that in the air. You understand? Maybe graduates 1 through 5 undergo even more intense training and how to handle the aircraft on a more advanced levels, right? And even then, they're buddied and partnered up, and those are the routine pilots, and they're the same pilots all the time. They don't get switched up. Very extreme, rarely occasions where they get switched up. And even then, catastrophic failure like that wouldn't have happened. So, food for thought on your Tuesday morning. Alright? Yeah, let's think about that one, right? Doesn't add up. Look into it, question it. We should question all that. Because mainstream media turned around and spun it 3 different ways, which didn't make sense to me either. I'm out of here for now. I'll be back in a couple hours, right? I'm gonna make some grub, right? And then do my morning routine, exercise, right? This sober path is awesome. Sobriety is kick-ass. I love it. I got up this morning and felt even better than yesterday, so it's great. Just letting you guys know. I'm feeling awesome. Anyways, I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit. Take care of each other. Stay safe. God bless. Alright? Bam Bam's out of here for now. And catch you guys later.